Hello and welcome back to the Fourth Down Fiasco. I'm your host today, Tanner Vinsky, and with me is my co-star, Danny Weber. We are very excited as this is the kickoff weekend for the European Football Alliance. So we got a lot to cover today. No games yet, but we're right around the corner. This is the last off-season pod, so we're finally out of the trenches. We're just going to go over the matchups we got going, kind of our ideal vision for a merger if it were to occur, just to get the last offseason talking point one more time before we can put it to bed for good while we talk about all these teams coming up. And then just our pick'ems going into this week. Make sure to follow us on all social media. That's going to be fourth down _ pod on X/Twitter, fourth down fiasco on everything else. And we have a bet stamp link. It's going to be listed below. If you want to check it out, that'd be great. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time to it, though, because we got a lot to cover. So, Danny, how about you kick us off?
I am so excited. We have had a long off season. We've talked about a lot of the same stuff over and over again, almost beating a dead horse at this point. But, yeah, by the time you hear this, there'll be a game on in 2 days, Friday, like noon our time. So it's going to be a great way to kickstart the weekend. But yeah, what do we want to do first? I know I sent a text in the chat.
I think we should just go over. We got 3 games. We should just go over. Or do you want to go over the Nordic Pathway programs? I know we.
Yes, I just first. Picked it up. So yeah, wanted to say how excited we were for week 1 first. You know, it's football's back, baby.
I know.
We'll get into it, but we get a banger slate to start the week. But no, yeah. If you have not seen it, the Nordic Player Pathway was launched a couple weeks ago now, where it was launched with a youth camp for all of Scandinavia. If you're a young player looking to grow in American football in Scandinavia, go check out NordicPlayerPathway.com or their Instagram, or you can follow it through the Nordic Storm links as well. But spots are limited. There's 7 different positions, and each position only has 15 slots available. So if you want to go quick. I think it's 599 DKK per sign up slot, and you get a handful of stuff: a shirt, lunch, drink, autograph from an NFL player. Some of the head coach of the Nordic Storm will be there. Some of their position coaches will be there as well. So if you not have seen that yet or have heard about it yet, go check it out. If you want to participate, go sign up. So wanted to shout that out real quick because I think that is a great thing for American football in Europe as a whole, and even better for Scandinavia. Try to get everyone involved, especially all the young kids. You know, it's football. Who doesn't love football? But yeah, if you have any questions, reach out. You can also just message them on Instagram or their website as well. So do that. But now into week 1. But week 1, Friday Night Lights, the first time we have ever seen a Friday night game, even though it will not be Friday night at our time. But who cares? Frankfurt Galaxy versus the Paris Musketeers. The return of Zach Edwards after a year off, and Ethan Garbers, who was supposed to be in Madrid, but now finds his way in Frankfurt.
No, I mean, we did a bunch of roster breakdowns over the last 3 weeks. We did 3 EFA teams per week, and then the last week we did all the AFLE teams just because those rosters aren't completed yet. But when we were going through the breakdowns of these teams, I mean, these are both really staunch defenses, which should be a ton of fun to watch. I think it's going to be, just going into the EFA as a whole, it should be really interesting to see how, I don't know, just how defensive-minded the league is. I feel like this is going to be a different experience where it's going to be good for just kind of a football environment that so many of these teams are so stacked on defense, because it's going to look almost like retro football in a way. Like, it's going to look like kind of like dead ball eras of football, where I think a lot of these games are going to be slugfest. I think they're going to be like 16-13, 2017, stuff like that, which is exciting because even when you just pointed out, it's like, yeah, there's a great QB duel here, a lot of potential, especially if Ethan Garbers pans out the way he's being hyped. But at the end of the day, it's you think about how great these QBs are. It's like, how well are they going to be able to make plays happen when they're going to have pressure in their face all day long?
No, yeah. I keep like almost fighting with myself about like how I picture this season playing out. It's like we're not going to get those 50-point scores or 50-point games anymore. Like we know that already is not happening. But it's like, who is going to come out on top? We always say defense wins championships, but it seems like almost like in the regular season of Europe, almost offense still kind of has the upper hand. But like you just said, like it's going to be a slugfest. Like these defenses are just good. But are these quarterbacks in Europe even better? I don't know. Like we don't know until they get on the field. And we're hyping up this league and all 6 teams, but maybe one team falls flat. Hopefully not. But
there's always a chance. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be hard because I mean, Paris, obviously you have, I mean, Zach Edwards is probably top 3 QB in Europe right now. Even taking a year off, I still feel pretty confident saying that. And he's got a solid wide receiving core. Like Austin Mitchell is great. Takadem's great. So he's got targets that he can have. But when you look at the Frankfurt defense, I mean, Takadem and Mitchell are going to have to deal with being covered by Henrique, Mason Chambers, Jalen Clay, Finn Schwarzkopf. Like, those are good defensive backs that that's going to create. There's not going to be a lot of openings. You're not just going to see Austin Mitchell wide open like he was a lot last year for Paris, where he just burnt the guy on defense. He might see that in other matchups, but I feel like in this Frankfurt matchup, I don't think there's just going to be the wide open, broken plays where you're just going to see Mitchell scorch the defense, right? There's just too much talent on this. And even before you get to the defensive back room, if you're trying to use the middle of the field, it's going to be difficult with, players like Toby Naylor. And even if you're trying to make plays out of structure, you have a pass rusher like Chris Malumba. I mean, that's all terrifying for an opposing QB. And I think Zach Edwards is well equipped to handle a situation like that.
100%.
But I don't know if we're going to see a 350-yard, 3-touchdown performance out of Zach Edwards against a defense that's good.
No, and I don't think we'll really we'll probably see a very small handful of 350-plus 3-touchdown games. Or
it's going to be interesting.
325, like.
Well, I'm going to have a fun time looking at Reddit this year, I think, because we're going to probably see a very down statistical year for Jadrian Clark, which we'll get into when we talk about his matchup. Yeah. And people are going to be like, "Oh, did he fall off? Like, is he not as good? Is he not as good as he used to be?" Where it's like, no, this is probably just the best competition he's ever going to face. And I think there's going to probably be a lot of those hot takes coming out of this season where if Ethan Garbers doesn't look great right away, like, oh, what was all this hype for Ethan Garbers? He threw 3 interceptions. But then you look at the opposite end for Paris, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I can understand why a rookie QB would throw 3 interceptions into this defense, right? Or have like 2 forced fumbles, Yeah. Because as scary as that Frankfurt defense is, I mean, dude, the Paris defense is disgusting.
We talked about, like, we went in depth, if you go a couple weeks ago, about all the whole rosters and everything. But looking at this again, we talked about how teams didn't invest in D line. Paris did.
Yeah, Paris for sure did.
And an A.
Mm-hmm.
So they trust their defensive backs, and that might give Brevin Easton and the wide receiver core of Frankfurt, with Tyler Foster coming in as well. Norman Schumann has always been there. It's like, and Lenhart, like, this is what I love about Europe. Our homegrown German wide receiver is better than homegrown Paris or French defensive backs. And that's what we get to see. It's not just straight A against A. We will see that with their 1A against the 1A, but then the rest is homegrown.
Well, that's what's good about the markets that they have for these teams that are still in the EFA is you can trust a lot of the homegrown talent you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you look at the AFLE rosters, you see a lot of imports. You see a lot of guys that aren't from their home countries that are supposed to be taking up the brunt of the duties. But I mean, with Frankfurt, I mean, they have 1A wide receiver. The rest of their guys are German. They don't have any other E's. I mean, it is just German talent, and they're going to rely on German talent, and hopefully that's going to prove to be enough for them.
And they did go with Botello Moreno, which we already know is an amazing pass catching tight end. So it's not like they invested something in at least a pass catcher, but yeah, like to your point, all homegrown wide receiver room outside of Easton is absurd.
And I mean, it's the same for the French defensive back room. I mean, they got 1A, 1E, and the rest are French guys,
Yeah.
And from what we've been hearing about the French team, like from Paris, like I think the French defensive backs are going to be able to put in work. Like I think they're going to be able to stand headstrong as alongside the A and E import guys.
Yeah, I agree, and hopefully what we're hearing is true, and that they don't have to start cutting people randomly to kind of fill a hole.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great first game. I mean, this is. I'm trying to think what would maybe be. What would you say would be a better kickoff game than this? Like, what do you think is the best kickoff potential game for the EFA? If you had to pick one.
I think with the history of the two teams in the league, with Frankfurt and Paris being around, I think the longest out of any of these 6 teams, maybe tied for the longest.
Frankfurt for sure has.
Yeah, Frankfurt's been around since the beginning. They are the longest tenured EFA team, but Paris has been around since 22. I think so is.
Prague's been around longer than that, right?
I think Prague, Tyrol, and Paris all kind of came in at the same time. I think
because Munich's recent too, right? Munich's like last 5 years. Well, I know a lot of these EFA teams, but I'm like, there's no other NFL Europe teams besides
Frankfurt. Munich's 3rd season, I think. But here,
what is interesting to think about that there were so many NFL Europe teams still kicking around when we first got into covering the leagues, and it's kind of funny seeing how little remain from both leagues this stage. But honestly, that might be a good thing. I think a lot of people probably are very sad to see a lot of those NFL Europe teams go, but
yeah. So there are 3 teams still operating from the existing 2021 ELF season: Frankfurt, Wroclaw, and Berlin. Then in 22, you get the Raiders coming in with Vienna and a couple other teams. But
okay, so Raiders. So if they wanted the 2 longest tenured, it would be Frankfurt and Raiders Tyrol. Yeah. But I think Frankfurt Paris is a better matchup than Frankfurt Tyrol. And
then Paris comes in with Munich and the Lions all in 23.
Yeah.
And then obviously Nordic coming in last year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could have, I don't know, like you could Frankfurt Munich, maybe Paris Munich, like the top 4 teams, in our opinions, they could all be interchanged as some of the best games. So you could throw Nordic Munich as game 1, and it'd be just as hyped as Frankfurt Paris week 1 or Paris Nordic, and kind of interchangeable. Not knocking Prague or Tyrol at all, but
I am glad we do get in week 1. We do get the Munich Raiders matchup though, because those games have been amazing the last 2 years when they've occurred, and I have no doubt that the final game of week 1 is also going to be amazing between those 2 teams. Like, there's just a great rivalry that's formed between the 2 of them, which is kind of hilarious because I think like it was intended for Tyrol and Vienna to be like the real big rivalry, the 2 Austrian teams, and I felt like the Tyrol Munich rivalry is way better than the Vienna Tyrol rivalry.
Yeah. And Tyrol and Vienna came in already as rivals.
Yeah.
It's not like it was new. Like they've hated each other for 2 decades now. But yeah, Vienna just being Vienna, it was never. I don't think they ever lost to. They never did lose to Tyrol while in the ELF. Like it was
Yeah.
never a rivalry.
Yeah,
But
and the games just weren't competitive. Whereas with Munich and Tyrol, the games were always very competitive, always down to the wire. I think every single one of their matchups has pretty much come down to a game-winning drive.
yeah,
Um,
and I love the marketing behind it too. We talked about it before, the story building of the league and stuff. But like the whole Battle of the Alps, because I mean, it is from Munich. You can see the Alps, and in Tyrol, you're in the Alps.
mhm. Yeah, I mean they're really not that far. I mean, I think we looked at like the distance between the two, and it's really not that far of a train ride or something. Yeah, it's like a 2.5 hour train ride.
Yeah, no, yeah, it shouldn't be that far.
So it's like, yeah, of course that's going to be. I mean, honestly, they're closer to each other than Tyrol and Vienna is, so it makes sense that they would, be more of a better rival candidate, to be honest. But I mean, geography never always. The geography is not always the most important factor to a rivalry. Right. I mean, you see like Philly and Dallas are a massive rivalry, and those cities couldn't be further apart. So that's not always the major thing to quantify it, but it's always good because what happens is you get opposing fans from those teams being able to travel well. Yeah. I mean, if anybody paid attention to the NBA playoffs, I mean, we saw a bunch of that where when Philly started going down and they were down 2-0, all of a sudden their stadium was filled with Knicks fans because it's only 30 minutes to get into Philadelphia from New York City,
Yeah. And yeah, I'll be curious to see how full or how much of the Ravens Stadium is going to be a little bit of silver instead of that teal and blue that they have.
Yeah.
But before we hop into that one, who you have winning Frankfurt Paris?
I really think like this is a pretty even matchup. I think Frankfurt hasn't been getting a lot of credit that they really should get because they're just not as like sexy as a team as the other EFA teams, I think. But I don't know. I love Frankfurt, and I think it's going to be really competitive, and I think they're going to do really well. My only hesitation is I just think the Paris defense is too good. I think you're coming in with a rookie QB. You have like an extremely staunch Paris defense. That's a lot to ask for Ethan Garbers in his first ever game playing in Europe, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor. So I think it's going to be close. I'm going to take Paris. I think it's going to be a defensive game. Let's go. I don't know. I said 16-13 earlier. I think I'm down to rock with 16-13 as the final score.
Okay. Paris 16-13 on the road. But no, it is interesting. Both these teams have kickers too. Like,
yeah,
Paris is using an Eastland on a kicker, and Frankfurt has Rimmler, who has been great from distance through his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the big issue with Frankfurt, we can't trust them. They always go into the season with super high expectations.
Every year, dude.
Every year.
Every year.
And it's just like, come on, man. So it's hard to like pick them in the beginning because we just like, you don't want to get burned.
It almost feels like the Chargers in like the NFL. Like I feel like every year it's like, yeah, this is the year Justin Herbert puts it together, and like the Chargers are going to be lethal, and then their first round exit.
Yeah, and it's just hard. So it's like, yes, Frankfurt looks really good on paper. So does Paris, but I think I have to lean with you. I have to go Paris. The return of Zach Edwards. He's probably ready to go. He has probably just been itching to get back. And like we said, that Paris defense with Jack Del Rio should be electric. And
no, I could see a situation where it's 13-13, like half a quarter to go, teams trade punts, and then once it gets down to the wire, it just comes down to who's the better QB that can get their team into field goal range. And I think Zach Edwards is going to be able to pull that off.
Yeah. But I'm going to say final score 28-17 with like a garbage time touchdown. So like 21-17 going into the final couple minutes, and then just a late touchdown to extend the lead for Paris. So that's my guess. 28-17 Paris. And then Nordic at home against Prague, the return of Glenn Tunga.
This one's a little less interesting than the first one. Now, not to like discredit Prague, because I think Prague's got a pretty solid roster too. I think a lot's going to get lost in Prague. I think there was a lot of shit talked on other teams about Prague and other ownership about the Prague Lions, just because they lost badly to Vienna last year. And I don't think that's necessarily fair to Prague. I think Prague is still a solid roster. I think a lot of that just came down to being salty from a lot of people.
Just the situation they were in. They're like, oh, they're on a win streak. They're the best team in the ELF at the time. And then Vienna came in and dropped 45 on them or something.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you look at Prague last year, and it was a massive improvement from where they were at before.
Yeah.
And I think they still keep a lot of good pieces. I mean, I think this team isn't going to be bad. I think they're going to steal games from guys here, from other teams. It's going to be interesting to see how they do at the end of the year. It might be something ugly where it's like, oh, well, Prague only won 4 games. But then you look at the competition in the league, and it's like, I think Prague is still going to be relatively competitive in all their games. And I still think they're going to be interesting. And I like their roster construction a lot, actually. They invested heavily on ease on the O-line. Their DB room is awesome. They got Willie P. I think the Willie P. Jalen Henderson connection is going to feed families. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be much better than the QB connection they had with last year. So I think a lot of that's going to help them punch above their weight class. The only unfortunate thing is in this matchup, they are playing probably the best team in the EFA. So they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about the Nordic roster. There's just no holes, really. Like, I think there's positions that are weaker than others. There's positions that could be stronger. But when you look at it, what do you like? Be like, oh, well, I think that they have a weak D line. It's like, yeah, like maybe it's not the strength, but would I say it's weak?
Yeah, it's their weakest position, but it's still better than other teams' defensive lines.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Just how good the rest of their lineup is, or their roster is. But no, I'm excited to see the return of Tunga. I'm curious to see the usage that he does get. Because they're gonna have to be timid with him a little bit. They don't want him to get hurt again.
Yeah, exactly. I think the only this is probably gonna be bad to say, but I think like the only real chance Prague, and again, I don't want to discredit Prague. I think Prague could steal this game, but I think like the best chance Prague would have is that Glenn Tunga comes back, not 100%, right? Like, yeah, but I don't think there's any reason to believe that. I don't think Tunga is coming in still injured or out of practice or anything like that. I think he's going to come in still balling, still an amazing player. But I think that's like the best hope Prague has, is that they come in and they don't really actually have to worry about Glenn Tunga as an X factor on this offense. Again, I still think they're unfortunately, I still think they're not favored if that's the case, though, because the rest of the roster is still so strong for Nordic. It's just, I'm looking at the roster again. It's like, I just don't even want to say the names. There's just so many to go through. Like, it's going to take 10 minutes to go over all the talent on this team.
And I always love week 1 because it tells you almost immediately where teams are at.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to see the talent level of Prague against one of the top teams immediately. It's like Frankfurt, Paris. Yeah, you can kind of feel them out there on a very similar playing field. But what end are either team leaning is the main question. But with Prague, if they can hold their own, because I think we're both going to end up picking the same thing here in a minute. But if they can hold their own, that'll be very good for the league itself. Because if Nordic comes out and they win by 28, it's not bad. I'll say that right now. That's not bad. It's football. It'll happen. You can get Kansas City losing by 28 to Dallas on a given Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can hold it to like a 14-point loss, like that would be really good because 14 points is not hard. Yeah.
Imagine if Prague goes out there and like they lose by 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, like this Prague team's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like with 14 points in your second matchup, you need, if you didn't force a turnover in game 1, you're trying to force turnovers, but get a turnover in week 2 or game 2. That probably takes a score off the board. That's only 7 points now. It's like then all you need is one possession your way with an extra possession in hand to bring that down to 0. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see. I am scared. We talked about the weak Nordic defensive line. I am scared about the Prague defensive line, and that's like
for sure
an actual issue. I also don't know the Prague homegrowns as well as I do the Nordic homegrowns. Maybe they're better than we think.
They just got a lot to work with, whereas the Czech Republic doesn't have a very is an integrated football scene and talent as a lot of the other countries that they're competing with in the EFA. So I think you're relying a lot on homegrown players that aren't going to be to the same quality as German homegrowns or Scandinavian homegrowns or things like that. So that's tough. I mean, luckily they get a lot of Polish guys too, and they got a little bit more of an established scene, but that's still not. I still don't think that's enough to really compete as great with the other teams. Again, a lot of the European stuff, I mean, we've talked to so many guys over there. A lot of it's building blocks, you know? So hopefully in 10 years, Czechia has an awesome homegrown pool, right? They get a lot of young players coming out, like a lot of kids in middle school and high school learning to play football. 10 years they come around, and all of a sudden the Czech Republic and Slovakia and those like central to breaking into Eastern European countries, you know, they're starting to get really into American football, and that's going to help teams like Prague grow better without having to rely so heavily on the imports. But right now, I just think they're a step below. So I'm excited to see this Prague team. I hope they put up a good fight against Nordic. I would be ecstatic if they beat Nordic. I mean, that would be the best thing for the league, is if Prague goes out.
Absurd. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't see it. So I think this game, I'm going to say it's going to be 35-17 for Nordic.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could see a similar score there as well. I'll just copy you just because I could say 35-14, but why? Yeah, but no, yeah, I think it's going to be a couple score win for Nordic, and hopefully Prague just doesn't look.
I just hope they don't look out of their element. That's the main thing I hope for Prague, is I hope they come out there. I hope they put up a good fight. I hope it's closer than my prediction. Like, I hope it's like a 35-24 game or something like that, right? Where it looks really respectable in the box score.
If Prague can hold their own for 3 quarters and then fourth quarter just kind of gets out of hand, it happens. That's
just how football works sometimes. I mean, yeah.
But so yeah, both go Nordic, both win Paris. Game 3, Battle of the Alps, Munich, Tyrol. Tyrol looks like the number 2 team in the league, roster-wise, in my opinion. They are stacked on both sides of the ball. We know you're getting out of Russell Tabor. You don't know what you're getting out of Steven Krajewski. Or was it Krajewski?
Yeah, I mean, it's spelled Krajewski. Yeah.
So, Tyrol is kind of the same thing as Frankfurt for me. You never know what you're going to get. Like, they're always going to be there. But are they going to be the best? Like, they're always going to be competitive. They're just there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Tyrol was the team that I said was the weakest of the EFA teams way back when we did that whole power ranking. I think they're the only team. I think they're the only EFA team I actually put below Rhine. I put every other EFA team above Ryan, which pissed
And
people
you
off.
reiterated it last week too on last week's episode.
Oh, did I say that again?
Yeah, you're like Rosloth would be below every single EFA team. Ryan would be, I think, near the bottom, but probably fifth above Tyrell.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still down for that. That still
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
I mean, that's it. Ryan has a good roster.
Right, Ryan's got a good roster, and that doesn't put it. It's not being disrespectful to Ryan, and that's not being disrespectful to Tyrell either. Tyrell they got a lot of work to do with this roster. I was hoping that would happen with the EFA AFLE split, is that a lot of guys in Vienna would jump ship, and that would make the Tyrell team really strong. Vienna just has a lot of resources, and they're really well regarded, so nobody jumped ship. And I don't blame any of those players for not jumping ship, because Vienna was throwing bags at people.
People from Tyrell jump ship to Vienna.
Yeah, which didn't help them. Yeah. I was kind of predicting the opposite, because I thought the AFLE was a little bit less stable league, and I still think that's the case. It's just unfortunate because Vienna, even though they're a part of an unstable league, they're still the Vienna Vikings. They have a lot of pedigree with them. They have a great stadium. They have great fans. They have great resources. If you're a player playing for the Vienna Vikings, why the hell would you leave? Even if you're playing in what we like to call the Mickey Mouse League, like even if you're playing in the Temu League, why would you leave that team as a player? It makes zero sense. And I was hoping that maybe somebody would take the jump and say, screw it, I want to play in the more competitive league. No one did, so that unfortunately leaves Tyrell in a tough position. Now, with all that being said, I still think Tyrell's got a couple of bright spots on their roster. I still think their running back room is awesome. I love their running back room last year. I still love it this year. You got Action Jackson, awesome player. Like, I don't hate the construction of this team. I think this is a team that can upset the other EFA teams if they really wanted to, but they still sit solely at the bottom of the EFA for me.
And I think my big reason for that, and it sucks that their original QB got hurt. But just I really hope they see something in Steven that we just can't see on the internet. Like, I feel like that's such a gamble. I feel like there were so many other quarterbacks you could have gotten with European play over going out to get a brand new rookie.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we ranked all the QBs, I think I ranked Krajewski last, because the only film I was able to see from him was him getting blown out by Rutgers and him getting blown out by another team. I forget the other team that blew him out. But, I mean, I literally only saw them in blowouts where he got benched in garbage time for backup. And, I mean, like, going off of that, like, I just can't see anything that maybe somebody in Europe can see. Maybe somebody that's actually been scouting him and somebody that's had him, in training camp and has seen him. And I hope that the reason they're bringing him in is because they saw him perform in other areas. They brought him in for training camp, and they're like, this guy's got a hell of an arm. He's accurate as hell. He's evasive. He makes good decisions. He's got great chemistry with our guys. Like, and I'm not sitting here and thinking that the Tyrell Raiders don't do that, right? Like, they don't take the opportunities to actually scout out their guys and make sure they're good fits and make the proper decisions. I think they're a well-run organization that just has the unfortunate situation of being in the same homegrown territory as Vienna, so they don't get the same talent. But I think they're well-run enough that this would help them, that I give them the benefit of the doubt that Krajewski actually could be a good player.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to take a rookie QB. Like with Ethan Garbers in the Frankfurt situation, we know a lot about Ethan Garbers. We saw him play all his years at UCLA. He actually performed well at UCLA. He was hyped up coming into Europe. His film looks good. It's easier for me to trust in that guy than it is for me with a complete unknown with Krajewski.
Yeah. And maybe they pulled a Russell Tabor out of the hat. Like, he was a backup at UNC. He didn't play. He didn't start.
And Tabor's awesome. Yeah.
And Tabor is balling. At least year one, maybe year two, hopefully the same. He's hopefully taking a step forward. And maybe Krajewski's the same way. It's a different build. Maybe he's just going to sit in the pocket and just light it up. I mean, they have a good O-line, so he'll have some time. But luckily, Tyrol still has a very good defense. They've always had a good defense. It's the black and silver, not the steel curtain of the Steelers area, but the Oakland Raiders had pretty good defenses back in the day. It's like they're going to just kind of mirror the same thing here. So if Steven, we've talked about it before, if he can control the ball and not turn the ball over, they can win games. Like if he is a general of the field, it just controls the game. He doesn't have to throw 4 touchdowns and 300 yards. You have the playmakers around you to do it.
Completely agree. My only concern with the Tyrol defense going into this game is that Munich offense is terrifying.
Yes.
I mean, I think we've all predicted it. We all think Tabor's going to take a leap. I think Tabor's awesome. I think he's one of the best QBs in Europe. And he had a great offense around him before. He's got an even better one this year. He's got, Justin Rodney, great running back. Why not bring in Justice Seelig anyways? Just make it even more insulting. Malik Stanley, phenomenal wide receiver. Louis Geyer, phenomenal wide receiver.
You have Malik Stanley. You're like, you know what? Let's go bring in Six and Dragon, Louis Geyer. It's fine.
Yeah, insane 1-2-3 punch at the wide receiver court. And then you got Okonkwo, who was a great tight end last year, who was great. And you're bringing
and then you bring in Eichhorn.
I know. It's such a good offense.
Tabor has no excuse.
Yeah, no, definitely not. He should put up better numbers than he did last year. The only excuse he does have, though, actually, is that the defenses all in this league are just so good. So that's going to be the struggle he's going to run into. And I think this defense this first defense he's going to face is going to be a staunch defense that's going to be able to hold their guys together. But there's only so much you can do when you have Justice Siegelig, Sexton Dragon, Malik Stanley, Louis Geyer, Philip Okonkwo. That's just Rodney. There's so many weapons. It's so many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, here's the main question. Rodney's coming back. Who's starting, Rodney or Seelig? It has to be Rodney, right?
Yeah, I would assume with Rodney, Seelig comes in as a third down back or something. Maybe more of a receiving back situation. I don't know. I don't think they can make a wrong decision.
No.
Either way, to be completely honest with you, I don't think whatever Munich picks, I don't think it's a bad call if they decide to rock with Seelig or rock with Rodney as their starting back.
Hear me out. Navy offense.
You don't need to.
Just do it anyways.
You just don't need to, because they have so much receiving talent.
Triple option. And then let the running backs or the quarterback throw the ball on the triple option. Let's see that. I need to see that once this year. Kendra Ellison, you hear that? I hope you're listening. If not, you should be. But give me a triple option with a pass. That's all I ask. One time. Then I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's such a good offense. So I'm terrified for Tyrol in this matchup. They're gonna have to put in a lot of work. I still think they're gonna play extremely hard though, and I think this game is gonna be closer than it should, just because these two teams know each other. They like to beat the shit out of each other. They don't like each other, so it's gonna be a good matchup. It's almost like this is the closest we get to AFC North football, I think, is these two guys playing against each other. These two teams where it's going to be grimy, it's going to be ugly, it's going to be down to the wire, no matter what the talent deficit is between the two teams. And I think it's the best rivalry that the EFA has. So,
100%. There's no true rivalries outside of these in the EFA yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
so, final score for me is I'm going to take Munich over Tyrol 21-17.
21-17. All right, I'm going to take Munich as well, but I'm going to go 24-14.
Like it.
Yeah. So Jordan is also picking all three the same. Do not be surprised when you see EFA pick'ems come out for all us journalists with all the same picks. I'm curious what the Frankfurt social media person's going to do, because they love being in comment sections. But I know a lot of people are picking Paris over Frankfurt. So,
And that is the closest matchup, I think. Well, besides Raiders Munich is always going to be close because I think they just have a great rivalry with each other. So really the only team I feel very confident winning in is Nordic against Prague, and that's the only reason I took them multiple scores, and the other two I kept very close because I do think there's a world where Frankfurt punches above their weight class, beats Paris. I do think there's a world where Tyrol makes Munich play the nasty, grimy ass game that they want to play, and they beat Munich, right?
And I kind of disagree with you saying Frankfurt punching above their weight class and beating Paris. I think Paris and Frankfurt are on the same level.
That's true. Yeah,
I think it's a very even card.
Mhm.
Whereas in Munich, Tyrol currently, Tyrol to win would be punching above the weight class.
Tyrol would be punching above. Yeah, no, and I agree. I think Frankfurt, like I said, I started it earlier. I think Frankfurt is being a little underrated going into the season, which is funny because like I think a lot of people would argue that they're being overrated. But I think now that people are arguing that they're being overrated, now it's swinging all the way back to now they're being underrated, right?
Well, it's just because we have trust issues. Don't give us trust issues and we won't do this to you. It's that easy. Oh, but, all right. We went through the pick'ems. Now, we're doing something new this year. It's nothing super special, but we're going to try to predict. And we will not have any biases when it actually comes to voting out of this prediction. We're going to predict our 3 awards. Who do we believe is going to win the Unsung, the Big Dog, and the Mr. Fiasco award? Tanner, started off. Who do you think is going to win Unsung? Unsung's like the second award almost, but everyone credits it as like the least, just because Mr. Fiasco is the best, and then Big Dog is Big Dog. Yeah.
I mean, I think we still kind of stick with Unsung being. Unsungs are
and.
It's our award for the like non-skill position players. So Unsung is going to go to.
Can I cut you off real quick? So I think we should like last year we kind of had ground rules for awards, but this year I think we should lay them and actually stick to them because like Mr. Fiasco is supposed to be A import only. That's what it was when we announced it. Are we going to stick to that this year, or are we going to sway from it?
I think for Mr. Fiasco, I don't think we need to do A import only again because with the situation we're going in is I think so many of these teams in the EFA have really good homegrown talent. And I think when they fuck up, we should be able to call them out. You know what I mean?
All right. So Mr. Fiasco, everyone listening, any player, everyone's free game. So good luck. Unsung, are we eliminating A's? Are we just doing homegrown talent or e-import talent?
Well, I think Unsung should be a position base. I think it should be anybody that's not a skill position. Anybody that's not QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Because with that, those are the players you're not seeing pop up on the stat sheets. You know what I mean? Like, I think it should go to trench players and should go to D-line and linebackers. I think we should try to stick to them not being A's. But again, some of the A's are different per team, right? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of name value with a Russell Tabor. But with some of the newer A's that we have in there, you know, like looking at Tyrol's roster, how much do you know about Kobe Hilton? You know?
Yeah.
That's a guy, if he comes out and he balls, that feels appropriate for an unsung winner, right? Yeah, because we don't know much about those A imports.
Yeah.
So I think we probably stick mostly to homegrowns and E's. I think it can't be skill position players, mostly homegrowns, some E's. But I think in the very rare exceptions where we're seeing new A's come in and having great performances, I think those guys deserve shout outs too.
I think it could be tight ends because Okonkwo did win one last year.
For sure. I think we'll have to look at it as we go into the season.
There's no hard stop, but we'll try not to let the main 3 positions plus maybe roll into the 4th.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Big Dog, that's free game.
Yeah, Big Dog's anybody who has a Big Dog performance.
All out, be good, light up the stat sheet, light up the game. But, all right, now that's settled. Your unsung prediction.
Unsung. Let's take a look at the rosters again and pull up everybody. And I'm going to take a. Do you have somebody off the top of your head right now that you thought about?
It's hard. I mean, you kind of have to go with one of the teams because you can't be on the losing team either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Where was he? Who was it on? I think he's on. I think one
I
of the
think for unsung, I think I'm leaning to somebody on the Paris D line. That's where my head goes to, or somebody in Paris's defense. I know it's a bit of a cop out answer right now, but I just think that's going to be the That's going to be the deciding factor of the game. Is I think who can make Ethan Garber's life a living hell. That's who's going to cause that's who I think is going to be getting the unsung hero because they're going to be the ones that are actually going to swing the game.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the attention is going to be on Magic Zach and Austin Mitchell and Hugo Takadem. It's going to be a lot of that's going to be focused on the offense. So I think you're not going to think about how just utterly dominant this defense is going to be. So yeah, right now I'm thinking just somebody on the Paris defense. Yeah, I don't know if you're thinking differently there.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I'm picking a guy straight up. So I think coming back from injury end of last year, Ludwig Myron. I think he's going to cause fits to that Prague offensive, just offense in general. He's a playmaker. He can get all over the field. So I think Myron's going to have a hell of a week one. That's my guess. Who's your big dog?
I think Glenn's going to come back swinging. I think it's going to be terrifying. I think we're going to see a 200-yard yard game. I think we're going to see multiple touchdowns. I want to go somebody different because I feel like that's a safe answer.
Yeah.
But it's the most lopsided matchup, and he's coming back from injury. I think he wants to kind of go out there and prove. He didn't get to play last year. You know, if you're in the position you don't get to play last year and you get a chance to play again, you're going to come out and you're going to have an insane performance if you're healthy, which I think Glenn is.
That was my pick. I was thinking about that all day. As soon as when I typed on the predicting awards thing this morning, I was like, I want Glenn. Even though I contradict myself now from earlier in the episode when I was like, who knows how much they'll use him. It's like they might only use him. They might limit him and run with Channing and
if he's healthy, they're not going to limit him.
No,
that's just the reality. If he's healthy and he's going out there and he's averaging 7 yards per carry, are you just going to stop running the rock? I don't think
not at all. But no, yeah, I like Glenn. I'll choose something different just for the sake of picking. I could go Clark, but I think I'll go Tabor. Just with a closer matchup, I think they'll pull it out. And I think he'll have a good game. Hopefully he can just kind of control and manage and do what he needs to do. And we can see that step from last season into this season already in week one. But then our favorite award, Mr. Fiasco.
Oh, this is going to sound bad. This is going to sound real bad because I already put him as the worst QB coming in, and we already said so many bad things. We haven't seen it. But I can see Krajewski just throwing the game-losing interception, right? And I don't know. You're a brand new rookie coming into a heated rivalry match, going against one of the best defenses in all of Europe. I think it can be a very ugly game, and we've seen rookie AQBs come into these games and look really bad. I don't think that's going to necessarily be the case for Krajewski, but I could see him go out there and have a really bad game. So to me, it's the safest pick to go him for Fiasco.
That's fair. I'm going other side of the ball with Prague. I think either Guilford or Hike Jr. One of the juniors on their defensive back. I think Clark or Tunga. If they're not going to run Tunga, I think Clark's going to kind of torch their their ADBs a little bit. Just because, especially if they can run and establish the run, that it's just going to be a whole different game for Clark. And we've seen him tear apart defenses pretty easily. So I think one of the ADBs on the Prague defense is going the award my way.
I was looking at Paris's team. I do have an unsung pick now. I think we're gonna go with Jack Lowe on the D line. He's been there a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at that as well.
Yeah, I think that's who. If I'm gonna pick anybody to have a multi-sack game, well, besides Andre Carter, if I'm gonna pick anybody to have a multi-sack game, I think I'm gonna go with Jack Lowe, and he's been there the whole time with Paris. I mean, he's just. It would be awesome to see if he comes out today or on Friday and just has a great game.
For all we know, unsung could be Dean Faithful. He could go out and make 6 for 6 baby.
If we can put a graphic with a kicker for unsung, though, this is going to be the best season of football we've ever watched. That's all I'm going to say. Well, screw it, dude. Honestly, I think with kickers, I think they're more likely to be big dog than unsung. I mean, you go out there, if Paris wins, it's all field goals. You make 6 straight field goals. 3 of them are like 40-plus yards. That's a big dog performance. That ain't unsung. That was the whole offense right there.
Facts.
You know how many big dog rewards I'd give to Chris Boswell? Are you kidding me? You'd have 1,000 of them.
You'd have 1,000 of them. But
I'm excited, though. I think
I'm pumped.
All 3 of these matches are going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and free on YouTube, now on Fubo as well, announced this week.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew Fubo was coming at some point. It kind of scared me a little bit when they announced YouTube first.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard no rumors about it showing up on YouTube first. The only news I had was Fubo. So for them to be like, we're on YouTube, I was like, okay, like sick. It's easy for everyone to watch. But I was like, but what about actual broadcasting? But I'm excited. Hopefully the broadcast looks nice. It's always going to scare me a little bit going into this. We knew what we'd expect with the ELF, but the people I've been talking to, they've been hyping it up a little bit. They have a Emmy Award winner directing it all. They brought in a company to help with it. It's like, should be pretty good. One thing I did have to laugh is the EFA announced that they'll have 9 camera angles per game. How many camera angles do you think the AFLE announced they'll have?
10?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. I saw that and I just chuckled. I was like, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We're at 53 minutes already. I think we'll just save our last topic of our hopes of a merger, our rules, for another episode. Or for a graphic. We could just make a graphic.
Probably could. Yeah. That might be a good graphic, actually.
Yeah.
Especially you drop it right before kickoff. Or like after we see both teams play or something. If we see them after the AFLE matchup. Because I think a lot of that's going to be interesting too. Because we haven't seen either of these leagues play. So there's going to be things that are going to be better in the AFLE. Like just that's just the reality of it. So
let's wait a couple weeks. Because then we could pick like what broadcast do we like more?
Exactly.
Score bug is better.
Yep.
I did see the AFLE score bug. It looks clean. I'll give them that much. I've not seen the EFAs yet.
Let's hope. EFA, when they put things out in first production, it has been a disaster so far. Yes. The reiterations that come around, we're like, okay, this looks all right. Yeah. So let's really hope that the score bug isn't a disaster.
It's the Maxi effect. The AFLE has Maxi, and he's a beast.
Yeah, for sure.
He ran the ELF since the inception. He's just good. But no, yeah, we'll give it a couple weeks and we'll pick and choose our favorites of what we want the future of the league
to look like.
So, but
cool. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We will be back next Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. What's it called? We upload it Tuesday night in America. It's Wednesday in Europe. hard for us to get that out of our minds. But it's gonna be uploaded next week, same time as it's gonna be uploaded this week. We're gonna do a full roundup of all of the week 1 EFA action. So please make sure to be there. It's gonna be awesome. We're very excited to finally be out of the off season, our last off season pod. Thank God. It felt like it was never gonna end for a little bit there.
Yeah, so recap week 1 next week and preview week 1 of the EFA next week. So
should be a banger. All right. Like I said earlier, you can find us on all social media platform, 4thdown_pod on X/Twitter, 4thdown Fiasco everywhere else. We have a bet stamp link underneath. Make sure to check it out if you want to make some bets. You got the is the EFA and AFLE going to be on BetStamp? Do we know? Probably
no, but go to ELFpedia's and sign up for his pick'em thing.
Oh yes, make sure to do that.
I still need to do that. So yeah, go do that. ELFpedia, go play his pick'ems, create an account, log in. I know he was trying to get some giveaways and stuff going with the teams and stuff. I know Paris has reached out to him. We called upon all the other teams a couple weeks ago. We'll do it again. Please reach out to ELFpedia if you're involved in a team. Help support the fans. We're rooting for you guys. Everyone loves a little something back.
Absolutely.
So throw a hat in, throw a pair of socks, throw some of your ELF merch that you're trying to give away. We know you have it. Like people will take it.
I'll take it. You want to send me some?
I have an ELF hoodie and some jerseys hanging over my closet right there. It's like I still wear them.
Yeah, exactly. I'll wear them too. Wear them till the day I die. So you can send those over to us or any of the other fans listening.
Yeah. So let's work together. If you can't reach out to ELFpedia, reach out to us. We will help communicate through that as well. But go sign up. There is a ranking. You'll see me at the top, just saying. But
it's all three of us, okay?
No, I'm doing my own individual one.
Oh, I thought he wanted us to all just be a 4th down Fiasco.
Oh, ELFpedia is individual, like the ELF Pick'ems. Go check out European Football Network because we are involved in their big pick'em. Yes, we were invited this year as being left out last year. We were a little sad. We're involved in the European Football Network pick'em this year, which is very exciting. Seeing us move up in the world of pick'ems. But yeah, ELFpedia has his own pick'em game. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, follow us on social media. Let us know your predictions for week 1. We always like to see that. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, make sure to give Frankfurt some credit because none of the insiders are. So
yeah,
let us know how wrong we are.
I think one person picked Frankfurt, maybe. I don't even know. I'm curious. I'm in a chat, FDF is in a chat with them, so we can go look. But
yeah,
I don't know if anyone really picked Frankfurt.
It's a shame. All right. Well, yeah, we appreciate it. See you next week.
Till next time. Peace. Nothing? No?
I said hugs and kisses.
Oh, okay. I missed it. My bad. Didn't come through my speaker.
All right, good. We got it this time.
Peace.